For Turkey, 2021 was marked by a free-falling currency.
High inflation is a major talking point for all Turks.
We've been talking about the global crunch in energy supplies in recent weeks. Now Turkey is feeling the strain.
To Turkey now, where President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has pressed ahead with a widely criticized plan to cut its key interest rate for a fourth time in a row.
We've all been bombarded over the last few months regarding the downfall in the Turkish economy, currency crash, high inflation, energy crisis, unorthodox monetary policies, and general political instability as we are approaching to the elections in 2023. There's no denying that the Turkish economy hasn't been performing at its best over the last few years. But how does all this affect the real estate market in Turkey? Over the last month, I had a record number of phone calls from my previous clients who bought property through Kingsman Estates, Turkey, asking me questions like, what's all this mean? Shall we exit the real estate market? Have we lost all our money? Shall we buy more properties? So in order to alleviate all these questions, I've decided to make a video about the real estate market and what will happen in the future. But before I answer that question, let's go back 2 weeks before, as I want to tell you a story about one of my clients whom I sold one holiday villa and 2 investment flats worth $2 million in total, and how he got to that decision. So I've been speaking to this high net worth individual over the last few months regarding different possibilities when it comes to property investment in Antalya, and we came to a point where he said, look, I'm really unsure about the Turkish economy, however I will come to Antalya and see with my own eyes. However, he added that he's only going to stay here for 3 days. It's a tight timeline to complete an entire sales process. I literally had 3 days to convince him. So he bought his flight ticket and booked his hotel and arrived in Antalya late in the afternoon. My team went to the airport and picked him up and took him to his hotel, as we do with all our clients. Since he came quite late, he just wanted to relax in his hotel for the first day, so we planned to meet the next day. So in the morning, I had a small meeting with my team in the office, just putting out a roadmap regarding this gentleman. And after that, we went to his hotel where he had his first night. We picked him up from there and went out on an Antalya city tour and a property tour, showing him places that he has shown interest over the last few months during our report building process. Obviously, Antalya is one of the best places in the Mediterranean, let alone Turkey. So he has quickly fell in love with the place. However, there was one problem: the economy. During our tour, he constantly spoke about how the economy is really uncertain, that he's afraid of losing money in the future, that he's not sure about whether it's a good time to enter the Turkish real estate market. When I look at my client's eyes, I could see that he loves the place. However, due to the uncertainty, it just seemed like there's no way around of changing his mind. Anyways, as we went along the property tours, he made few observations that helped me a lot. First of all, he said there's not much available land for construction in the city center, and it is correct. In Turkey, you're not able to build constructions anywhere you like. The government dedicates zoning permission areas where you are able to construct buildings. This is especially the case now compared to 5 years ago, especially in mainstream cities like Istanbul, Antalya, Izmir, Bodrum, where it is very difficult to find a plot of land that is available for construction in the city center. So what happens is, it's a basic equation of supply and demand. When there's less supply of something, the price goes up. Listen, when you look at the Antalya seafront properties, now there's no land left for construction. So those properties have been skyrocketing in the past and will continue to do so, as the demand never ends for them, but the supply is limited. So it is inevitable that in the future the Turkish property market is going to be more competitive when it comes to finding a plot of land, thus increasing the prices. Anyways, the day went past quite quickly and we saw the properties, had a lovely city tour, and I took him to a restaurant in the evening where we spoke about just life in general, and I had one of my guys take him to his hotel. Now I need you to understand that at this point things were not looking too good and I had to do something to change his mind. So in the morning I wanted to have a early start, and I've invited my client to our office as I wanted to have a really deep dive with him about the Turkish property market and go through various analysis. And he arrived and we start talking about various things, and I started off by explaining the second reason why Turkish properties will cost more in the future in terms of hard currency. When you look at the real estate market in Turkey, about 60% of the cost of construction is directly affected by hard currency. This is simply due to the fact that they get imported. Even for products that get produced in Turkey like cement, the prices are skyrocketing due to the increase in electricity costs and coal costs. So when you realize that the newly built buildings in Turkey will undoubtedly cost more, and this trend has been going on for a while now. So I showed him this graph to prove that from 2000 to 2021, the cost of construction went up from 7% to a whopping 50%. There's no indicator in the market that would show a decrease in the prices, so this trend is continue to stay. He looked at the graph and, he seemed happy, but he asked me, yeah, but Berkan, this is all good and all that, but what about the second-hand properties in Turkey? Does the price increase when it comes to construction cost of the newly built properties affect the second-hand market? And all I had to do to extinguish the fire in his heart is to show this graph where it shows the price trends between the newly built properties and second-hand properties. As you can see from the graph that the prices are fairly similar, as one of the criteria homeowners look at when determining the price for their second-hand properties is the price of the newly built properties. He was exceptionally happy to see this graph, as two of the flats he wanted to buy for investment is second-hand properties. Something else that surprised my client during our property tours the day before was the increase in the build quality of the properties in the newly developed areas. Last time he visited Turkey was 10 years ago for his honeymoon, which is lovely, and seeing the difference between then and now is simply jaw-dropping. Now, the construction industry has been the bastion of the Turkish economy over the last 10 years, so this sort of environment allowed many developers to come into the market to get the piece of the action. And competition always improves things, so now people expect those new green spaces within the gated communities. They expect the lovely communal areas such as spas, Turkish baths, gyms and pools, and 24-hour security at the door. However, these things cost more money, so again, this is another reason why the property prices have increased in Turkey. Look, my client is a high net worth individual and an exceptional businessman, so he had all the right questions when it comes to the numbers and the tangible manifestation of real estate dynamics in Turkey. However, he was missing one point, which is the mindset and the culture of the average Turkish person and the way Turkish people approach different financial instruments and investments. Buying real estate and a car in Turkey is your first step into having an organized life, and a Turkish mindset dictates buying your property before anything else. Even in uncertain times, people go buy property and gold in order to, save themselves from the uncertainty of the economy and the currency. So this sort of back and forth continued for a few more hours, where he asked me questions, I answered, we did various valuations, etc. And we got to a point where there was a brief moment of silence, and after that he raised his hand and shook my hand and said, "You have convinced me." The relief was unbelievable. After that we went on to delay his flight ticket for a further day. We booked a new hotel for him so he can stay here longer. We went on to finalize the sale process for those two flats and the holiday villa. We went on to finding furniture for him, which is one of our free after sale services at Kingsman Estates. At the moment we are in the process of finding two lovely tenants for his flat so he can start earning rental income. So that's the story, right? So the answer to the question in the title of the video is a big no. The Turkish economy has not crashed and will not be crashing anytime soon. So that is the end of the story. If you are looking to buy a property and sell it after 6 months with profit, you'll have to get very lucky for that. However, if you are going to do the right research and work with the best professionals in Turkey like Kingsman Estates and looking to keep the property for 3 years at least, you will make money while enjoying everything that Turkey has to offer to its visitors and investors. So that brings us to the end of another video, and I sincerely hope that I was was able to alleviate the questions in minds when it comes to buying property in Turkey. The sales to international investors in Turkey during the December 2021 period was all-time high. It's a record number that we've never seen before. This trend will continue to go up in the future, so Turkish economy might not be doing too well. However, the Turkish real estate market is doing well and is here to stay. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, as we are producing one video per week covering all issues related to life in Turkey and Turkish real estate market. I'll see you at Kingsman Estates.